Ahem. Sherlock Holmes. Hello mọi người. Tối Chủ nhật mình lại quay trở lại với series Sherlock Holmes. Và hôm nay không biết là chúng ta có thể phá xong vụ án này không. Vụ án hôm qua là mình chơi là kể về một cái ông quản lý một cái vườn cây cảnh là bị chết. Và một loạt những cái cây cảnh gọi là quý hiếm đấy, đắt tiền là đã bị biến mất. Và bây giờ mình đang đi gọi là khám phá ai là thủ phạm giết ông ý. Nói chung ông này là cũng là một người tính cách bẩn, tính cách không được tốt cho lắm, cho nên là rất nhiều kẻ thù. Con thì cũng không thích này, lại còn có Sugar, một bé Sugar baby. To quá, để mình giảm volume xuống. Ok, rồi bây giờ chúng ta sẽ làm nhiệm vụ gì đây? Hôm qua mình cũng quên là mình chơi được đến đâu rồi ấy. Mình thử xem là ở đây có một số những cái nhưng mà cái này thì không, cái này nó cũng không hề liên quan đến nhau. Bây giờ là trong cái phòng của ông ý thì có một cái để gọi là gì nhỉ? Con này không biết có nói chuyện gì được với nó không ta? Không nói chuyện gì được với nó. Rồi.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection.
Từ. Windows thì có thể open được này. Thế thôi hả? Bây giờ vấn đề là mình còn có một cái chung là có hai thứ mà mình chưa giải được. Thứ nhất là ở đây là cần phải cho một cái gì đấy vào đây, mình vẫn chưa tìm được nó là cái gì. Thứ hai nữa là ở trong cái phòng của cái ông kia thì có một cái két sắt, nó cũng chưa mở được cái két sắt đấy. Chắc là mình sẽ phải đi lòng vòng để xem là có tìm được gọi là manh mối gì không. Trong cái map này của mình có vẻ khá là rộng đấy. Hôm qua mình chơi đến đây là mình bí, nếu không mình đã chơi tiếp rồi đấy. Không cũng rồi. Không hiểu vào đây tại sao lại có tiếng động, có mấy cái tiếng nhạc nhẽo này. Chỗ này như là mình đã xem hết rồi. Ôi từ.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Đây là những cái mà cây cảnh là bị gọi là gì, bị cướp này. Chỗ này là cái chỗ mà ông kia ông bị đầu độc khí chết này. Đi đâu làm gì đây?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Tôi cũng không biết nữa Watson ạ. Không biết phải làm cái gì bây giờ. Bây giờ có cái kết sắt đấy là mình bị gọi là gì nhỉ? Bị thiếu, gọi là thiếu cái gì? Thiếu cái thiếu dữ liệu nhỉ? Để quay trở lại. Mình chưa đi đường này đúng không? Đây là gì đây? Nursery. Trong này thì mình cũng đã đi gần hết rồi này. Tủ thì cũng không mở được. Chỗ này là mình đã khám phá hết rồi nè. Bây giờ là đi ngược lại tất cả những cái phòng để xem là phòng nào, là để xem là còn thiếu cái clue gì không. Trước khi là mình đi hỏi ý kiến anh Google. Từ xem thằng này nó có nói chuyện gì không này. Anh ơi.
Just be...
Không có cái gì. Phòng này là mình hết rồi. Trừ có mỗi cái này là mình không biết được mật mã thôi. Mở kiểu gì. Ô từ từ. Mình cũng chưa có cái evidence nào.
I don't hear anything.
Cái này thì cũng đã nghe hết rồi. Tức là còn có cái máy này, đúng không? Chemistry thì cũng lục rồi. Cái này thì cũng ấy rồi. Bây giờ đi đâu ta? Này hết rồi, xanh hết rồi. Bí rồi đấy, bắt đầu bí rồi đấy. Mình sẽ thử về để xem là có cái gì ở nhà không. Khó quá ha. Để hì hì mình đang gọi là gì nhỉ? Mình đang nhờ anh Google. Không có cái gì cả. Không có gì.
A map of London and the surrounding area.
Map
It could
cũng
be
không
useful.
để làm gì. Bây giờ mình cần phải quay trở về để mở cái kết sắt. Rồi, mình sẽ, đấy là cái manh mối duy nhất mà mình có thôi. Có thật đấy ha. Bây giờ là bí mật là sẽ phải từ từ để đây. Tức là bây giờ là sẽ phải tìm cái nào mà khi mà mình nhấn vào thì nó sẽ vẫn giữ vững. Rồi, cái này chưa. What? Thôi, hãy gọi là skip nó đi. Rồi. Cái cây gì vào 14 tháng 9 năm 1999 đây? Lạ quá ha.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Wow. Đúng là Sugar Baby chứ còn gì nữa. Ngoài Sugar Baby ra thì còn ai vào đây? này bây giờ mình đã xong. Bây giờ phải về để search archive. À đấy, đã xong được cái nhiệm vụ tìm xung quanh rồi. Ok rồi, bây giờ về nhà để search archive. Đi về nhà là đi về nhà. Rồi bây giờ tôi sẽ đi search archive. Báo này. Năm 1889. Đây. The Divine Syndicate Club. Followers of the God King Trewan. Protectors of plants and more particular trees. Financial malfeasance.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Đi.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Oh,
Let us find someone who could help us.
chính là ông lão đang thiền chứ còn ai đây nữa à? À, đang tập功phu.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic?
Himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is
Vegetation
advocated by this
philosophy,
establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Hôm nay có hình xăm nhá. Thế thôi hả?
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower pots.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation. Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Thêm được một người nữa. Ok rồi. Bây giờ là sẽ đi để ngoài này là có cái gì không? Ồ, có một cái cổng nè. Không có cái gì ngoài này hết. Từ từ. Đẹp thật đấy. Có cái gì đâu?
This must be Treewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Ai đây?
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
Phái điện.
Osmosis
Tôi để đi hết cái chỗ này đã. Ồ, từ.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of. This is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
The list of plant friends and benefactors, lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders.
Không hiểu đây là một đường dây buôn bán ma túy ấy.
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
À, lại phá khóa. Lại phá khóa rồi. Skip đi. Đây là lý do tại sao mình thích cái trò này đấy.
A vast amount of opium. These instruments are used for smoking opium.
Rất là châu Á ha.
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. A tropical plant. These three plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Hả? Phái đạn. Đến rồi ăn cướp cây nhà người ta.
A tropical.
Hết chưa? Sẽ có một cái gì đấy ở ngoài này. Rồi. Ông này đang múa quyền. Tại sao ra ngoài này người ta lại có cái đấy nhỉ? À đây có cái gì đấy.
A fragment of a flower pot. A fragment of a flower pot. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
Sao lại đã ăn cắp của người ta rồi lại còn kiểu không cất kỹ như vậy?
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
Wow. Ok rồi, bây giờ về nhà để làm thí nghiệm thôi. Wow. cái vụ án này dài ra phết.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed. No reaction.
Chỉ còn cái cây cuối cùng này thôi.
My word! It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack. My... It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
Tức là chỉ còn cái này thôi.
I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating. It closed again.
Oh.
I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. How interesting. What a strong and effective defensive mechanism. I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant should shoot at it.
Cái cây cuối 3 này là cái cây mà kiểu từ từ, bây giờ mình sẽ đổ cái này vào đây. Cho tất cả cái ra.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
Sau đấy thì mình sẽ cho một con vào đây.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. I am interested in what might...
Ok rồi. Bây giờ mình sẽ đổ cái này để cho nó ra, sau đấy dùng cái pin để chọc.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if I am interested in what might...
Hết rồi mà, không có cái gì nữa đâu.
This is a strange and unusual plant.
Thôi, coi như là phiên phiến đi.
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Chưa có thêm cái sự kiện gì mới cả. Rồi.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. These Latin names. I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor.
Thằng này không thể nào là thủ phạm được, bởi vì là kiến thức hóa học
Thank you,
của nó
young man.
không đủ
We shall see you again soon.
để có thể gọi là giết được bố nó. Bởi vì là ai mà là thủ phạm ấy thì sẽ phải là một người mà có kiến thức về sinh vật, sinh học và hóa học rất là bú đời. Đấy, nên chỉ có thể là cái ông Hamish với cả cái con White kia thôi, một trong hai người. Suy luận của thám tử Nga ngố là đến đây là như vậy đó. Mình sẽ quay sang xem con Sugar Baby nha. Hỏi nó xem là nó làm những cái gì.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
Ôi, chứng tỏ ông
I
Hamish
joined them as
đã
soon as I
nói
could, for I knew that something must
đã
be
nói
very
dối hoặc là
wrong.
con này nói dối.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Nào, bây giờ chúng ta sẽ... Úi,
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
sao tự dưng lại đến đây? À, từ. Đây là đi nhầm rồi. Nào, thằng Watson tránh ra. Tránh ra cho bà đi. Đây. Sorry. F. Rồi. Nào, bây giờ là từ. Một này. 2 này. Hold on. Rồi reset. Nào, bây giờ là đầu tiên là what? Từ đây. Đúng không? Đúng rồi mà. 1 này. Sau đấy thì là đến đây là 2 này.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson's.
All right, Holmes.
Tất cả những cái này là đã ấy xong hết rồi mà.
We have to activate the ventilation system.
Ok rồi, tức là bây giờ là thằng Watson sẽ ở đây, còn mình là sẽ đi ra đằng sau để activate.
The power is on. The engine cannot be... The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
Nào, bây giờ quay trở về.
Water.
Water gì đây? Water lily à? Ok ok. Ế, mình chạy một vòng này. Đây.
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
Sao mày không nói với tao mà mày lại...
The smell is...
Khổ lắm. Hamish and... Từ xem thằng Watson bảo tụi mình làm gì.
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
Thế rồi bây giờ còn quên mất là không biết là hai cái thằng kia là bọn nó ở đâu ấy. Không, con Y này thì là không mấy rồi. Bây giờ là thằng Hamish là ở trong nursery. Hold on, nursery là đây đúng không? Nursery đúng không? Sit house à? Không phải. Nursery vậy là đây. Nursery đúng rồi.
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Thằng Albert thì lại là ở trong building này. À không, hay là thằng Albert như là trong sit room thì phải. Đúng không ta? Đúng rồi, thằng Albert thì lại ở trong seat room. What the fuck? Nào. May mà cái này là có đường thông ra đấy. Từ. Ok rồi. Seat room.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
Ô, con Y đâu rồi? Được không?
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out. By activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Thằng Hamish là cái thằng Hamish là đứa mà gọi là gì nhỉ? Có khả năng giết nhất. Ôi, bấm nhầm. Gì đấy? Sao hai cái này lại với nhau nhỉ? Bây giờ mình sẽ phải đến lab để nghe cái gọi là gì ở cái băng của con kia. Cái băng 320. Mình vẫn còn nhớ. Phòng lab hình như là ở đây thì phải. Không phải. Đúng không? Phòng... Từ.
Here it is.
Tôi còn rất nhiều cái nữa để mình xem những cái khác.
Cylinder records.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Ôi, vậy là Hamish là người mà đã giết rồi. Bây giờ mình còn cái mọi người đi đâu hết rồi? Ui, tự dưng đến đoạn này là kiểu tất cả chúng nó đều biến mất ấy.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Mị cũng không biết nữa. Biết đi đâu? Đi đâu làm gì? Tôi đã hết tất cả các clue rồi. Mình vẫn chưa tìm được cái device syndicate để làm cái gì. Quên nên quay trở lại đây nữa không nhỉ? Hay là mình phải về archive? Quay trở lại chỗ này xem. Nhỡ đâu mình còn thiếu cái gì đấy, hoặc là chưa nói chuyện hết. Hay là mình chưa nói chuyện về cái ông tập yoga. Thì chăng? Đây, thử nói chuyện với cái ông chủ này xem. Biết ngay mà. Xong hỏi ông ấy là tại sao nói là không liên quan đến cái Key Garden mà lại có cái pot.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Nói dối này. Ôi ôi.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Simple on the broken pot không đúng này. Không phải. Phải chọn cái key.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Rồi. Cũng không phải branded flower pot. Nhanh lên.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there.
Rồi. Cũng không phải. Vậy à?
None. Not worthy there.
Rồi.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search. Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Gọi các cây là sisters.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Ôi no, không phải, chắc chắn là không phải. Từ để mình xem mình còn cái
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
What? Thế rồi. Đúng, thằng Hamish là cái thằng mà khả nghi nhất trong cái vụ này, chắc chắn là sẽ không thể nào sai được.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Vãi
good.
đã,
I
I
shall
knew
wait
it
to
mới
hear
đau
from
chứ.
you.
Mình còn no clue. Để chờ thôi. Lâu thế, Quốc, lâu thế. Ôi, cuối cùng cũng xong.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Tức là cái kia đúng không? Mình đi đường này thôi.
Holmes, my God.
Oh no!
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
Trời ơi.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Từ từ vậy là ồ, tức là thằng này không thể chạy được. Vậy là thằng này nó phải có gọi là đồng phạm. Ui, vụ này hay quá. Trời ơi, lại có đồng phạm. Không, thế chắc là Amber rồi. Thằng
Something
Albert.
about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Thảo nào, cái map
Let
đấy
us
lúc nào cũng
analyze the
có.
facts and statements so that we may
Oh my
recreate the
gosh.
events of that morning.
My gosh. Nào. Martin Hamish and Mortis Stone met the Sid House around 9:30. Rồi tiếp tục. It was around 20 minutes to 10. Then Hamish and Mortis went out to the backyard. After 10 minutes, had a conversation with ok rồi, tức là lúc này thằng này nó sẽ ở đây.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door, more than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Rồi mà. Nhưng mà cái con kia lại có bằng chứng. Nhưng mà thật sự thì mấy cái đấy nó cũng không phải là bằng chứng ngoại phải. Ok rồi, cái này là mình...
Martin Hamish was like Albert, Miss... Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
What?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Tức là bây giờ mình phải ngồi nghe mấy cái này ấy hả? Có thể là con White.
Let us summarize. Martin Albert, Miss White. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Đúng không? Có phải là bé Sugar Baby không? Mình nghi là bé lắm. Thằng Albert nếu mà nó muốn giết, tức là nó rất là kiểu sợ cha ấy, nên không thể nào mà nó có thể giết cha được. Nếu mà nó giết là nó giết từ lâu rồi. Cũng đúng á.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right, you can count on me, Holmes.
Sugar baby.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
Ôi,
You do not
ngây
seem
thơ vô
surprised,
số
Miss
tội.
White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Từ bây giờ bắt đầu là phải hành động đi nè.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Con này
Don't come any
kinh vậy.
closer.
Con này kinh vậy.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Vậy là mình đúng rồi
Well
đúng không?
done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Yeah. Yes. 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 Wow. Perfect ending. Ho 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 ho. Ok rồi. Giờ mình sẽ thử xem là cái option ending của cái thằng con nha. Xem thế nào nha. Trời ơi. Mình siêu quá. Vụ này cũng tốn mất phải đến 2 ngày. Hai buổi chơi ha. Tí nữa thì chắc là sẽ tua nhanh để xem là nếu mình chọn sai ấy, thì nó có được không. No. Rồi bây giờ sẽ chọn thằng Albert. Wow, lại còn có trường hợp thằng này did it alone à? Ồ, tò mò quá ha. Thử xem ha. Cái case này nhiều ending quá.
Inspector, the case can be closed. Martin Hamish operated alone. He was meticulous in his planning, down to the smallest detail, and yet we arrived at the truth.
Well, I must thank you once again, Mr. Holmes. Without you, it would not have been possible.
If pushing a man to his suicide seems fair to you, Lestrade, then we are even.
Mr. Holmes, you did what was needed
to not appear in this inquiry. I thank you for your discretion, Lestrade.
Hô 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 hô. Nào. Tò mò quá ha. Từ từ thử xem là mấy cái ending khác nhau nó sẽ như thế nào. Cho trước cái đấy thì mình sẽ thử nha.
What happened, Inspector?
It's all over now, lad. There is no use denying it. We know that you murdered your father. Patricide by plant poisoning. Very alliterative.
What? You're mad. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about botany.
Tội nghiệp Albert.
No.
Tội nghiệp. Ok rồi. Nào bây giờ bắt đầu sẽ thử thằng Hamish là một mình nha, và không theo cái hướng là Trump thì Lestrade nha. Bọn nó lừa tình rồi đấy.
Inspector, the case can be closed. Martin Hamish operated alone. He was meticulous in his planning.
Well, I must thank...
Without me, you would have escaped all the criticism and blame that no doubt you will be subjected to.
I know, Mr. Holmes, that you did what was needed
to solve a case once again. I thank you for your discretion, Lestrade.
Kiêu gạo thật đấy. Rồi bây giờ đến Albert and Condemn ha. Xem là trường hợp sẽ như thế nào. Nào, phương án này là sẽ thằng Albert nè, tha cho Sugar Baby nhá. Tạm tha cho Sugar Baby lần này.
It was Albert who assisted Martin Hamish with the murder of his father, Montague Dunn, an act of desperation to end years of misery and humiliation.
Poor boy. You're right, Holmes. He was also a victim. He'll live the rest of his life with the death of his father on his conscience.
And that is enough. The case is closed, Watson. We can say officially that Martin Hamish acted alone.
Cái này ngắn hơn ha. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ kết tội con White. Nhưng mà sẽ tha cho nó thử xem thế nào nhá. Nói chung là Sugar Baby ý, là không phải tha, phải chỉ thẳng tay. Để xem có bao nhiêu người tha thứ Sugar Baby nào. It's not like I've choose the same thing.
But Holmes, how can you be...
It is
I am using it. I do use it.
now that the rope has tightened.
Very good.
Just one moment. Now listen to me,
Whatever I...
Nothing spectacular.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
Ôi,
You
ngây
do
thơ
not
vô
seem
tội.
surprised.
Well,
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear.
you were wrong.
It was Martin Hamish. You think that you can fool...
You don't care what...
I am not blaming you, Miss White.
Đây, chỗ này đoạn này khác
You are a
đây.
young and brilliant woman,
Phải
trapped
đã.
in a dull and hostile world. Life has never been easy.
Sherlock
Men,
Holmes cũng
in particular.
cũng bị rơi vào bẫy của Sugar Baby.
It is hopeless.
Indeed. Well, it may be true that I cannot yet change the world, but I can spare your life.
My life. There is nothing left to save. I have lost everything. Do you hear me? Everything! And you were just like all the others. You would abuse and take advantage of a vulnerable woman.
I hardly think so. Now just listen to me.
I've tried so hard, but I have had enough.
À,
Miss White, no!
đến cuối cùng thì con ấy cũng tự tử thôi.
beg you.
Đã tha cho mày rồi mày lại còn làm gọi là drama.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Thôi nha, accept nha các bạn. Để xem có bao nhiêu người chọn cứu con Sugar Baby nào. Chỉ có 23 người đấy. Phần lớn là mọi người đều gọi là thấy là nó có tội. Sugar Baby. Không biết là cái cây này nó có dài không? Thôi mình sẽ lại tiếp tục nhá hàng nhá. Xong chơi một tí để buổi sau chơi tiếp.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have? Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Half Moon Street. Ok. Mình được cái gì đây? Được một chậu hoa. Ok. Nào bây giờ đến Half Moon Street cho đi. Mình sẽ chơi nhá hàng một tí. Chưa thấy có cái gì nhá cả. Đúng không? Half Moon Street là đây. Phải đạn, đi vào trong này thì sợ thế. Mình đang chơi bây giờ 11 giờ tối. Sợ quá.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
What is a fireworks?
What were the fireworks in honour of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me. The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Có một cái chìa khóa.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens. A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Còn một người nữa đâu? Người nữa đây đúng không?
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Mất máu mà chết. Ok rồi. Còn gì nữa không? Đây, cái ông Tanner này đây.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Oh, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with the gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Chưa gì đã có conflicting statement rồi. Ok, thôi mình nghĩ là mình chơi đến đây thôi. Hôm sau mình sẽ chơi tiếp. Chắc là hy vọng là hôm sau mình sẽ cố gắng phá đảo cái series Sherlock Holmes này luôn. Nói chung là series này một series hay. Mình thấy là nó hay hơn cả cái The Devil's Daughter. Và những cái này là sản xuất từ năm bao nhiêu nhỉ? Năm 2012 thì phải, lúc nãy mình tra năm 2012 đúng không nhỉ? Sherlock Holmes 2014 hay sao ấy. Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishment là phát triển từ năm 2014 nha. Tức là 7 năm trước mà chơi vẫn rất là hay. Thì chắc là lần sau là mình đã phá đảo được rồi. Sau đấy thì mình sẽ xem là chơi series Sherlock Holmes nào tiếp trong cái đống ở mình download về trên Steam ạ. Rồi, ok, thank you cả nhà nha. Bye bye. Have a good Sunday night.